The benefits are obviously now that people can attain disaster recovery and backup for their local IT environment that historically would have required a very large IT footprint. That IT footprint would have historically been very expensive and very time consuming to maintain. Now what we find is that people can actually protect those workloads that were historically difficult to protect, whether it's from cyber attack or whether it's from human error or from a natural disaster. And that's something that really is heavily mandated now in today's 24/7 business working environment. And again, what it allows customers to do is to move into that area to protect those workloads. But one of the problems I think we see there is that, one, there's a big confusion around the difference between backup and disaster recovery. And two, there's a lot of noise in the marketplace at the moment about what disaster recovery really is, or disaster recovery or backup to the cloud. And I think one of the important things to understand is that there's no real silver bullet to disaster recovery in the cloud. We've been working in this space for perhaps the last 6, 7, 8 years, and historically, a company being headquartered in Houston, we've seen a lot of natural disasters. So we have hundreds of customers who we rely on us for disaster recovery. But not one of the customers have we ever seen has exactly the same environment locally, has exactly the same use case. If we think of customers in the Middle East or customers in France or Germany, each one of those will have a different use case, a different infrastructure, a different RTO and a different RPO. And again, that's why really it needs a very consultative approach to understand what the customer actually needs, to avoid them either buying something off the shelf that's very cheap and doesn't function for them, or to avoid them buying something very expensive that is going to be too expensive for them and still doesn't perform to what their requirements are. It's that consultative approach. It's that ability for people to stand back and say, this is my infrastructure, this is my environment, these are my requirements, and not to rush in without taking that time to do that. And I think from our perspective, again, that's one of the great things about the DR services that and companies that we've worked with before, is that we've also been recognised by Forrester as a leader, as a DR as a service, and that really is because of the approach that we take to delivering those services.